Okay, so now that I have a tape line there and I've discussed the various polishers, now it's time to remove the swirl marks on this Audi. When you're looking at this car from 10 feet away, it looks really good. And you might think I'm nuts for putting a buffer to it. Well, the truth is, and I would encourage you to do this too, is go out to your garage with a flashlight or even the flashlight on your phone and hold it about a foot above your paint and use this to inspect the surface. The flashlight, or even the sun on a sunny day, will show all the swirl marks and scratches that are in the finish. The light is on it, they're more obvious because they actually reveal the true condition of the paint. Now that you're aware of this, I'll show you how to fix it. And to fix it, you're going to need to use a buffer. The fact of the matter is, modern clear coat finishes are far too hard to polish by hand. And when I say polish, I'm talking about using something abrasive like a compound or a swirl remover. And another advantage of the machine is that eventually your arm gets tired. The machine never gets tired. So I'm using a forced rotation dual action polisher. And what I'm going to use for my first step is a foam cutting pad. So there's a science behind these foam pads, and the difference is that there's various levels of cut. When you're using something abrasive to remove swirl marks, you're going to use an abrasive pad. For the second step, when we refine the surface, I'll use a finer pad. So I have my pad on my tool, and I'm going to use a swirl remover. And make sure you buy a high quality swirl remover. If you buy an inexpensive one, then usually what will happen is they contain cheap abrasive technology that will actually scour or haze the finish. So you want to use a high quality product, and you don't have to use a whole lot. You squirt some on your pad, and I like this tool as well because it's variable speed and it also has a lock for the trigger, so it locks it in place and it's really comfortable to hold. So place your pad flat on the surface and then adjust your speed to a low speed setting and spread it out first on a low speed setting. After you have it spread out, then you can increase your speed. When you're removing swirl marks and scratches, you want to work on a small area, about 12 by 12 inches, or with a more powerful tool, you can stretch that out to 18 by 18 inches or so. And you want to perform what we call a section pass. A section pass is when we go up and down, and we slightly overlap each time. That's a section pass. Once this whole area is done, you perform a section pass in the opposite direction. And you'll perform about 5 to 6 section passes, or until the polish turns clear. Firm downward pressure and slow arm movement. A lot of time as men, we hear the power of the tool. It's very noisy sometimes, and we want to move our arms really fast. You have to move your arms slow. And then turn the machine off before lifting it off the paint. And another advantage of using a high quality swirl remover is that it's not going to sling dust all over the place, and it wipes off really easy. When you wipe it off, take your microfiber towel, a high quality microfiber towel, fold it 4 ways, and take short, firm strokes, and if you're using a good polish, it'll be really easy to wipe off. If the polish is really hard to wipe off, it's because you likely overworked it, meaning you applied too many section passes along with too much heat. And right off the bat, the paint looks a lot better already. The next step is to take the gloss from an 8 to a 10. And for that, we're going to switch foam pads from a cutting pad to a polishing pad. And the difference is that this pad is less abrasive. And I'm going to put the pad on the tool, making sure it's centered on the backing plate. And I'm going to take what we call a finishing polish. A finishing polish is less abrasive, and what it does is it refines the surface, and it really maximizes the gloss And for this step, since we're not trying to mechanically abrade the paint, since we're just polishing it, I'm going to be at a lower speed setting as well as a faster arm speed, and I'm going to lighten up on my pressure just a little bit. So same concept, put it on the paint, spread it out low speed first. And then I'll increase my speed to a medium speed setting. And again, I'll perform about 5 to 6 section passes. And that's how simple it is to polish your paint using a 2-step swirl removal system. The next step, wow, this looks really good, is to apply a wax, which I'll showcase in the next segment.